Welcome, people of Lotro. I'm your host, West, and today we're doing all kinds of random things. And so today I've got a brand new little hobbit that I am leveling, and so I figured I would show the farming aspect of Lotro for a little bit. We're not going to always be doing this, okay? So don't worry about getting bored. Eventually we'll move on to other things, but right now we're going to do a bit of crafting. So in Lotro, the farming aspect, we have the um, basic farmer who can plant a field of whatever type of stuff, whether it's barley, pipeweed, uh, vegetables, whatever. And so you plant the field in these specially designated areas. This happens to be a field, a farmland. So then once you've planted them, these very boring looking plants arrive, which actually, I think I've only done two. Hang on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. Yep, there we go. These boring looking plants I've found are, I believe, what pipeweed's supposed to look like. Tobacco somewhat looks like this, but usually most tobacco that's grown has a wider and larger leaf. So I'm not sure if this is a special older kind of tobacco looking plant. But it doesn't matter if you're planting a barley field, pipeweed, or even an onion field. This is the look you get. You get this little square field. And if we close this, you can kind of see it's just a square here. And once you have harvested it, which was what I was just doing, it goes away. And you can't select it. So it used to be whenever I do a crafting run, I would do one, and then I'd turn a little bit, do the next one, turn a little bit, do the next one, turn a little bit, do the next one, turn a little bit, do the next one. Okay, and you can just see it by the edge of this thing. There's the next one, there's the next one. And you notice that one's well tended. The reason it is well tended is because it's a crit field. All right, so now that we've got the 10 planted, we start back over here and we click this title. Then we click this title. Then we click this title. Click this title. And we can just keep spinning around because it doesn't really matter which direction you're doing the field from. There's two very close to each other. There we go. We got both of them. And then we've got to get this one. And if we click on one that's already been clicked on, it says the field's already in use. So we don't have to worry about that. And then we click the last one. And as you can see, it's kind of, going around and slowly disappearing as I'm gathering. And so that's how I always did the farming, was I would just spin around in a circle and do this. And that it's really good if you're used to clicking on things. It works fine. But you can also do something else, which I found works great if there's nobody else around the area. And you can count to 10 or whatever number you want to plant. You do have to collect these fields in the amount of time before they disappear on their own. So, there's so many you're supposed to want to do. So, let's see. So here's my 10, and this is the way I'm doing it now. And they're all piled up on top of each other, which makes it almost impossible to click them individually with your mouse. Okay. So I don't click with the mouse anymore. But there is an keybind in Lotro, which is the use key and the select next key. Okay, so I hit the select next key, and you see up here I have selected the field. Once I've selected the field, I then hit the use key and I start harvesting. So I do this again for the next 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I apparently counted wrong because now I'm hitting the workbench, which is nearby, which I can also select. And so I'm back around and I'll just keep harvesting those 10 fields. And I don't have to worry about clicking them. I don't have to worry about them individually. But I did have to move my keybinds to where the select next and the use buttons are close to each other. Okay. So it's kind of an interesting way of doing things, rather. I'm also keeping very hydrated today because I've been talking a lot, which is why my voice is so gravelly. I have such a very gravelly voice. Arr. Anyway, now there is a way of getting a crit, and with farming, you actually get 100% crit chance, which is really nice. I'm not doing it right at the moment. I probably should get some. I'll probably have to get some at some point. But I'm wanting to do this to kind of give you an idea what the scholar does as well. And we will get to that in 20 more fields. But this is the I'm farming Lily of the Valley fields, which is actually a special recipe. You don't get it defaultly, you have to buy it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yep, workbench. Okay. Also, if you click the workbench, if you go too fast and you click the workbench and you hit use, you'll actually, if you've got the move to use thing selected, you'll end up going all the way across the field. And it's like, no, come back, must harvest just plants, go back to plants. So you have to be careful on that point. But it works out nice. All right, so I'm doing all these Lily of the Valleys, not for the fact of just doing Lily of the Valleys, but there is an actual point to this, and the point is the Lily of the Valley leaves. They are very useful for scholars to make dye. And I like making dye. Not so much for the sake of it being dye, it's just it's an easy way to level a scholar. It takes a lot of farming though, because this won't even 24 may get me through the first tier of scholar, but it won't really finish the tier up. So, not much help there. But it'll get us started anyway. But when you get into the higher tiers, you have to do so much farming. I had so many crops, I literally leveled like 3 different farmers from the crops for leveling 1 scholar. So I'm kind of not planning on doing that. But I do have some characters that could stand to be leveled. So, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoops, see? I got the workbench. Stop it. Back to the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's the workbench. Okay. Yeah. Do this so much. So, anyway, this is our fun little fields of Lily of the Valley. And you can see we're very close to leveling. In fact, this last field, so I've only done 100 fields, and I've gotten 286 crops from it. So it does exponentially grow in some areas, but it takes so much. Like spring barley, I could probably go through all of the apprentice tier of farmer on 20 alts to get enough spring barley for a cook. You know, I mean, it's crazy how much farming you do. So that's why any trick or tip to get it a little bit easier is so welcomed, because you end up doing it so much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There. So the next tier, defaultly, I've only got pipeweed and cabbage. So if I do the next tier, when I do the next tier, I need to figure out what I need for my scholar field, what I need to plant for that, and buy that recipe. But I don't have that right now because I don't really have the scholar recipes yet. Now, I don't need to do these crops, and I'm not going to. Because basically it's just sorting seeds, and that's the animation over and over. These type of things you need to do, like, you know, put it on, and then in the evening when you're going to bed and let it run. But with the scholars, if you're making paints or dyes, you can actually not have to worry about that. I bought the pea green wall paint, which is not my favorite, but it's the only apprentice tier scholar matte available. And you can see I have my 28 Lily of the Valley leaves, which are a special thing that I've gotten from the crafting in the fields. I do need to buy some. I'm heading back over to the nickel delving scholar crafting hall. And basically I need to talk to my scholar guy to buy.
How do you do?
How do you do? I need to buy 28 bottles of water. I'm just going to do the one batch so you see how it goes. Buy 28 pieces of chalk. And chalk actually is a actual ingredient you would use for making dye, plant-based dyes, which a lot of people don't realize. A lot of the crafting, even though it's kind of odd at times, a lot of it is based, you know, if you're making a dye or a paint, you would need some water, you would need chalk to make the paint thick, something to dye the chalk, and a small glass vial to put it in. So, you know, it's pretty accurate on some things what you would actually use. So now that I've got the ingredients, I can now make 28 small glass vials of Lily of the Valley leaf wall paint. So one thing you gotta check is if you've got enough space, because the problem with paint is it doesn't stack. You get one at a time. So we're gonna make all, because I think we've got enough bag space. And you see, here's our pea green wall paint. And we're going to have 28 of them show up soon. And it doesn't take long. Scholaring does not take long at all. And it gives pretty good experience as well doing this. You can see I've gained 25 XP. I probably couldn't get that from killing something, and here I am just bang, bang, bang. I was level 7 when I started and I did the 100 fields. So that's not bad, as far as leveling goes. Farmer cook combo is usually the easiest to level. Scholar, not so easy, but I really need a scholar more than I need a cook right at the moment. So that's why I'm doing this. And see, I'm now level 10. Oh, and I've got Vexing Blade. Yes. It's Vexing Blow, whatever. Guardian's Ward, Sweeping Cut. I can never remember when I've got, like, Guardians and stuff. I think this is Sweeping. That's targets. This Sting. Okay, Sting is single? No, that goes there. And then, I can never remember. Let's put that there. Which, unless it's a hunter, I don't, or, warden. Warden's the best one that I can usually just freely start putting skills where I am used to them being. Guardian, not so much. Though I do have a high-ranking Guardian that I have leveled myself. He did not get Aria'd. But, yep, level 10. Yay! Level 10. So 3 paints left. I don't think we're going to quite make it to 200 to get the next tier of Scholar. But when you do hit that next tier, it opens up the next level. Okay, so when you get past this first tier, 200 experience, in other words, for apprentice level, then it would open up the second level of apprentice and the next tier. Now you can, if say you just wanted, the ability to have all the levels but not really caring about maxing them out, from this point on you could just do this tier, start the next tier, do the first tier of that tier, and keep going like that. But in order to get the second of any tier, you have to go back and do the first one. It's step by step. So in other words, if I got to 200 and left it there and started on a journeyman, I could not get the second level of journeyman. And if I went on to expert from there, then I couldn't get the second tier of expert. So it's kind of interesting how that works. All right, so we've got our stuff. Repair our tools. And I really love the tools that I have. The ones that they give you are individual tools, one for a farmer, one for a scholar, and one for a weaponsmith. But a metalsmith can actually make a set of tools. The better set of tools is actually a universal toolkit from the Lotro store, which is really great. But I don't use it very often. So it's like 95 points, Lotro points, and I'm cheap. Okay, so let's see. Yes, Master Erkenbrand sent me forth from his fortress of the Hornburg. This is a level 10 thing. notice that they send. Um, in Helm's Deep to bring word to adventurers of the epic battles that will soon be joined in Rohan. If you would like to learn how to fight in such large-scale engagements, come see me at the Boar Fountain in the town of Bree. I actually haven't done that in a long time. Maybe I should. I don't know, I'm level 10. I don't want to die yet. I don't think his intro actually kills you, but I don't want to die yet. You can actually get um, a deed if you get to level 10 without not. I mean level 20 without dying. There's a few deeds there, so it kind of makes it nice. All right, so I sell these cheap because I want them gone. And if people want to have some pea green wall paint in their lives, they're free to do so. Now, I'm just selling a few of these because I don't care. I don't think people are that interested in it. So I'm just going to sell a few. I think 10's a good number. Because any good house, you might use 2 for. Deluxe and above. So 10's a good number. And then we'll sell the rest of them. There we go. Do, 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 do. So now I gotta go sell the rest of that. I'm going to keep the Lily of the Valley crops and do them at some point, but again, I'll probably do them, you know, when I'm logging off for the night or something. I'll get in and start doing them.
Good day.
So here's all my pea green wall paints. And earlier I actually clicked the little toggle lock mode thing and locked my crops, and so it doesn't show up on this selling list, so I can just sell all. Boom. Because I don't want to keep the sprigs of allspice. I could, but it's a cook crafting mat that I don't need. I mean, I could use it. I use them for flour, and that's the only one I actually use. All right, so since I have leveled quite a bit, I can use up my points. Do I want parry chance or a heal? I like heals. Heals are nice. I will use a heal. I don't like dying. And since I haven't done any deeds yet, I have no virtue. I'm not virtuous. Alright, so. Alright, that's got her. Though, I think, now that she's level 10.
Is there something I can do for you?
Oh, let's see. My leggings are better. Yes, here we go. Okay, I need my necklace. Withdraw. I need some muffins. I like my muffins. So these are very specific muffins. They are blueberry muffins, which are made by a normal cook, or can be obtained through a one. I think there's one or two quests that'll give it to you. Some blueberry muffins. These were quest muffins. These are crafted muffins. So you can sometimes get the superior blueberry muffins. And I love them. They're level 10 and make a good meal. I like it. I cannot use these leggings. What do they look like? That doesn't help. Okay, I need a jacket so that I can see what these pants look like. Leggings of the sheriff, I'm not impressed with. Meh. No. I don't like this type of pants because certain areas are lighter than others, and the emphasis is not in places I prefer on a hobbit. Yeah. We'll just put it that way. So, yeah, I don't need that. I could also have some hornblower pies. We'll get some pies. I'm a hungry hobbit. I must have food. So, I now have level 10 food. Here is some bloodwort crops that my original scholar made as well. And so there's a lot. I think she's up to level supreme level, whatever level that is. Anyway, quite a few down. Um, but she made these for trying to make I forget. Well, it's bloodwort, but it's orange dye. You can make orange dye from bloodwort, which is interesting. Um, so yeah, the crafting in Lotro is very advanced, and takes a lot of getting used to. Just a lot of components, a lot of parts. Um, some of them work good together, some of them don't. All right, let's see what our gift for a new wanderer has. Um, Potions of restoration. We'll put them in the vault because I don't care. What's next? Some out of combat regain. Item wear reduction. Alright, what else? Oh, more things. Now these are just little potions they give you as you're starting. They basically just do a heal over time. It gives you so much power, but then heals over time type thing. They're not very useful unless you're in a pinch, and so I keep them around for that. Alright, so now the next one is level 15 before I can open that again. Put it back in the vault. Alright, so that is my little hobbit who's new. We're going to log out and find somebody else to do stuff with today.